irritating, his tone and forceful use of the imperative implying that from the off, the prospect of my denying him was something that hadn't even mildly flitted across his mind. But by the time that thought was done, our miniature battle was already won, his mindless prattle completely undone by mine, angry glare, and relishing in the apparent success of my most impressive unimpressed stare. Where he had gone, I couldn't really tell. I continued on my way to Cæmberwell. Biking up next to me, he appears again, almost immediately. And now, Blair noted, I suppose, his approach turns to one slightly more contrite, as he politely asks me if he might have a minute or two of my time. To say no seems pointless, as I had nowhere to go. Yes, idiotic, obviously the only answer is no, and maybe it's just too indecisive. But before I was given a chance to answer, his charming, yet clearly quite impulsive nature got the better of him, and with slightly more force from the biking man burst the same question, now hanging in the air right next to the first. Could I have a minute or two of your time? Changing tack, I tried to explain that while the illusion of choice was there, as I was on foot and he had decided to follow me, I really couldn't go anywhere. With a cursory nod, he acknowledged my new line of argument and followed suit by changing tack himself, answering back with a just as entrancing, "Hey baby girl, where are you going?" Which didn't exactly have me dancing inside. "I'm not your baby girl," I replied, while normally calm I was finding his brazen condescension surprisingly difficult to take in my stride. "You'll be my baby girl soon," he veritably leered, and now struggling to see things clearly, it was getting harder to keep my cool. "You can call me Claudia, if you have to even talk to me at all." And then he said, with the specific inflection of someone who clearly thought he was transporting the conversation in an appropriate direction, "You know, if we were in the caveman days, I could just nick you over the head and put you over my shoulder." There were no words, and in the shocked silence he biked away, leaving me free, dazed and amazed, disconnected by the growing respect for the balls of the man who'd interrupted my thoughts on my walk from Brixton to Cæmberwell.